People have been seeing things they can't explain for centuries. Giant sea monsters with teeth like knives, shadowy beasts hiding in forests, and creatures so strange they feel like nightmares. Are they all just stories, or is something truly out there? Today, we're diving into 7 mythical creatures that might not be so mythical after all. 1. The giant sea serpent. Let's start with something big, like really big. For centuries, sailors have sworn they saw something massive moving beneath the waves. Not a whale, not a shark, but a long, serpent-like creature with humps that roll across the surface and eyes that glint like lanterns. The Norse called it the Jormungandr, ancient Greeks talked about sea dragons, and in the 19th century, newspaper reports described sea serpents off the coast of Massachusetts, Canada, and even Brazil. One of the most famous cases, the HMS Daedalus incident in 1848. British naval officers reported seeing a 60-foot creature swimming past their ship near the coast of Namibia. They were trained observers, not the type to mistake a log for a monster. Scientists have tried to explain these sightings as giant oarfish, which can grow over 30 feet long and have ribbon-like bodies. So was it just an oarfish, or did something even bigger slip away beneath the waves? 2. The questing beast. Now we head to the forests of Arthurian legend, where we find the questing beast. This creature was said to have the head and neck of a snake, the body of a leopard, the haunches of a lion, and the feet of a deer. Basically, someone threw every predator into a blender and hit monster smoothie. According to stories, King Pellinore and later King Arthur himself spent years trying to hunt this thing down. It was said to make a barking sound, not like one dog, but like a pack of hounds trapped inside its stomach. Weirdly enough, medieval bestiaries describe the beast as a real animal, not just a fable. And some researchers have proposed it could have been inspired by sightings of giraffes. Yes, giraffes, which in ancient Europe were described as camel leopards. Still, no giraffe makes barking sounds or has lion legs. So was the questing beast just ancient confusion, or something else lurking deep in the woods? 3. The Kraken. Kraken was the original nightmare lurking beneath the waves. This gigantic octopus-like creature comes from Norse and Scandinavian myths. It was said to be so big that sailors would mistake its back for an island, until it moved. The Kraken wasn't just big, it was deadly. Legends say it could pull entire ships under the sea with its tentacles. Sailors feared it more than storms, but here's the twist. In 1857, a Danish naturalist finally gave a name to something real. The giant squid, Architeuthis dux. These things can grow up to 43 feet and have tentacles strong enough to leave scars on sperm whales. Modern deep-sea cameras have even caught glimpses of these elusive creatures in the dark ocean trenches. So yeah, the Kraken might not be a myth. It just had better PR in the Viking Age. 4. Sirens. Beautiful, mysterious, deadly. Sirens were once described as bird women, half woman, half bird, who lured sailors with their hypnotic voices. Over time, that image morphed into the more familiar half-woman, half-fish version we now call mermaids. The common thread? They sing. You listen, and you die. So where did this idea come from? Some researchers believe that manatees and dugongs, slow-moving sea mammals, could have been mistaken for mermaids by lonely sailors with terrible eyesight and months without human contact. But here's where it gets interesting. In 1493, Christopher Columbus wrote in his journal that he saw 3 mermaids near the Dominican coast. He said they were not as beautiful as they are painted. Yet even today, people still report sightings of mermaid-like figures in oceans, lakes, and rivers across the globe, especially in West Africa and the Caribbean. Is it just pareidolia, the brain seeing faces where there aren't any? Or are the sirens still singing? 5. The Chupacabra. Okay, we're switching from the sea to something that might be lurking in your backyard. The Chupacabra, literally goat sucker, first popped up in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Farmers started finding dead livestock, drained of blood with strange puncture wounds. No tracks, no signs of struggle. And people started whispering, something's out there. Descriptions vary. Some say it walks on 2 legs and has spikes down its back. Others say it's more like a mangy dog with glowing eyes and fangs. In Texas, dozens of strange animals have been caught on trail cams. Hairless, hunched over, teeth bared. Some scientists say they're just coyotes with severe mange. But not everyone's convinced, because even after all the debunking, sightings keep happening. Not just in Latin America, but in the US, Chile, the Philippines, and even Russia. So maybe the Chupacabra isn't a vampire, but something weird is definitely leaving those bite marks.
6. Dragons. The most famous mythical creature of all. Big wings, fire breath, treasure hoards, bad attitude. Dragons exist in almost every culture, from Chinese lung dragons to the fire breathers of European legends. But here's a weird question. Why do cultures that had no contact with each other all imagine dragons the same way? Some scientists believe it's because ancient people may have stumbled on dinosaur fossils. A giant skull with sharp teeth and huge eye sockets? Yeah, I'd call that a dragon too. In the 4th century BC, Greek historian Herodotus wrote about flying snakes in Egypt. In China, ancient texts mention long dragons that controlled rain and thunder. Even today, you can find people in remote parts of the world claiming to have seen massive winged creatures flying overhead. Are these just big birds or something we've forgotten? One possibility is the roc, a mythical bird so large it could carry off elephants. Some suggest it was based on the now extinct Haast's eagle, a New Zealand predator with a wingspan up to 10 feet. Scary stuff. Maybe dragons aren't breathing fire, but something out there still flies and terrifies. 7. Pauakai. Let's wrap things up with something that absolutely was real and terrifying. The Maori people of New Zealand tell stories of the pauakai, a monstrous bird of prey that hunted humans. It would swoop down from the mountains, grab people and disappear. For years, scientists dismissed it as a myth. Then they found the bones. Enter the Haast's eagle. This thing was no joke. With talons the size of tiger claws and a wingspan over 10 feet, it was the largest eagle ever to exist. It lived on New Zealand's South Island and hunted moa, giant flightless birds that could be up to 12 feet tall. And yeah, if it could take down a moa, it could definitely take down a human. The pauakai legend wasn't just a scary story. It was a warning and a memory. So, what do we make of all this? Are these just stories passed down through time? Misidentifications? Or could there really be creatures out there, hiding in the depths, the forests or the skies that we just haven't caught on camera yet? You decide, drop a comment, which one of these creatures do you believe in? And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It keeps the legends alive and the mystery going. Until next time, keep your eyes open, because sometimes the myths aren't myths at all.